What's up, you guys? It's IAmTheLionRider, and today I am here to walk you through all of the brand new news in Planet Zoo 1.5's update. So without further ado, let's get started. So you can check out the news on either the Planet Zoo game website, or what I like to do is actually go on the forums. They actually have a few little teaser images like this one and stuff of what could be in the future. And so I'm going to probably read off the forum post by Shantae that came out today, and that'll kind of give us a better idea of what we can be anticipating. So, without further ado, let's get started. So the first big news is that this update is coming on March 30th. So this is definitely one of those dates that I said to keep an eye out for, and so that is when we should be expecting it. I think it's a good pick. It's about a week and a half after the PK alpha and stuff, so it's going to give content creators and even the community as a whole, anyone who is excited for PK, a little bit of a break in between before you jump into this update, so that's going to be awesome. So let's just jump into what the actual update is going to entail. So the first thing we have is multiple zoo entrances. Now, I had to explain this to a few of my other friends and stuff because I was a bit confused. Don't we already have that? But no. So apparently this is catered towards people who wanted to play stuff like career or franchise mode. So as an example, anyone with sandbox mode would know that you can just place down in sandbox a guest spawner and a zoo entrance, and that's it. That's all you needed to do. Then you could build as many entrances as you want. But they have now added the ability to do that for stuff like franchise. And they said they're going to be expensive, but you are now able to do that, which I think is going to be awesome for those people who want to do that. So what else is new? So this is a huge, huge deal. And I need to preface this by saying this is my favorite update so far. The aquatic update was really, really good, and this is somehow topping it for me. I know not for everyone. It would probably be a little bit lackluster compared to the hype that was the aquatic pack. For me, though, this is probably my personal favorite pack ever. And we don't even know what the DLC is yet. I mean, we basically know it's, Asia. But we haven't even seen the DLC animals yet, or the scenery or whatever. But just the 1.5 update is already having me hyped. So, the next thing, blue-ass water. So I know last time we were talking about with the aquatic pack, we got bluish water. They tinted the water a little bit, so it was a little bit more blue than it was prior to that. But now they've gone full on, you know what? Okay, you guys still weren't super satisfied yet. Here, flexi-color water. So now we're literally able to change the color of a lake and stuff like a flexi-color thing and change the actual color. So it's changing the fogging distance of the water. So if you thought we could change stuff like clarity and stuff, I'm not positive about that yet, but we can change the actual tint that it creates from far away. So that's going to be awesome. Now, what I will say, and this seems like, this is asking a bit more and stuff. The issue I've found, because I was going to make some mods and stuff myself to change the color of water, the issue isn't really the watercolor, it's the glare on the glass. So I think the issue is if we can please get some kind of slider option to change the opacity of glass, that would be ideal. Because I don't actually think the issue is the water anymore, it's just the issue of glass at this point. So, but from these screenshots, I can already tell this is way, way better than it ever was before. So flexi-color water is going to be amazing. I'm going to absolutely love this. We can get those turquoise waters that we wanted, those cyan waters we wanted. Even if you want to go more fantasy, like this is like a purplish water, that's going to be really, really cool. So I'm super, super excited for that. So next up is something that we kind of went over in my last video, but I want to touch upon it again. There's a few new updates. Billboards. So billboards are already in Planet Coaster, and they're finally migrating over to Planet Zoo. And what I forgot to mention in my last video is apparently we are also able to display video. So anyone who wanted actual video playing in their zoos and stuff, that is available. They're going to be compressed videos, but they look phenomenal. Like, Estan did an amazing video going over the potential for like aquariums or bat caves and stuff like that. It's going to look really, really cool. So I'm super, super excited for this. Definitely going to be awesome. Now, they mentioned custom audio, and I was like, oh my god, did they add it? But no, much like last update, they basically have verified that the audio is exclusively going to come at a later date, but they are working on it. So that'll be cool. I feel like billboards alone should make people excited because, for the most part, audio isn't as important for zoos as it is for theme parks, but, I'm glad both are coming. But billboards are definitely going to make, making posters, making new exhibits. If you wanted custom wall textures or mosaics and stuff, that's where billboards are going to kick in. And it's going to really explode with the amount of customization we get out of this. So that's going to be really, really cool. So the next thing is the thing that I'm so excited about. I've been talking about this for the longest time. I have no idea why they didn't do it sooner. But we are finally getting, and I'm going to skip the first scenario news to talk about it, scenario rewards. So today we got the news we're getting all of the statues that we see on the career mode of the game in the game as rewards for completing each scenario. So, and career mode, campaign mode, whatever you want to call it. So stuff like this orangutan statue was not available prior to now. So this statue is one of many, including a giraffe, an Indian rhino, a flamingo, a crocodile, a kangaroo, etc. that are available in these campaign mode missions. But prior to now, we're just locked to the globe. They would just literally say, like, if you completed a gold star mission, it would just have a gold orangutan on the globe, and that was your reward. Which is useless. No one really cared about it. So everyone pretty much ignored the campaign mode until now. So what they did is a thing that I've been talking about, which is just give us the item as a reward. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to get each color version of the medal, bronze, silver, or gold, at whenever we unlock that bronze, silver, or gold medal in the game. So let's say you got a gold, I believe it's the monkey Madagascar mission or whatever, you would get a gold orangutan statue as an item that you could use in your franchise and sandbox modes. So that's going to be awesome. Similarly, they've also said if you unlock the next level, you'll get the stone version of that statue. Now, I don't know if they specified if it's going to be a flexi-color stone statue like we did with the aquatic update, but regardless, I think this is going to be amazing. I'm going to absolutely adore this update. We're going to be getting so many new statues, and it just gives everyone a reason to play the campaign, which is awesome, because I know a lot of people have just been playing Sandbox, and they're like, where's the gameplay? We don't want to play it. And there is gameplay. We have a whole giant campaign mode, but this is finally going to give people an incentive to 100% the game, get all those achievements, get all those campaign things. This is going to be awesome. And I know I'm an achievement hunter, so this is definitely going to be a thing that is going to make it worthwhile for me. Like, I'm really going to want that Indian rhino statue for my Bronx Zoo build. So, similarly, we're also getting a new scenario. So if anyone wants, we have a new scenario, which new scenario is cool and stuff, but to me that just means we're getting a new statue, which is really what I want. So I'm excited for this. It's going to be based on the Goodwin House. It's basically going to be like the first legacy version of the Goodwin House. So that's going to be really cool. I'm going to really enjoy this or whatever now that we have this kind of incentive to play it. And we also have a few new changes to the UI for franchise. So for franchise users specifically, your UI is going to get a few changes. They explain it here. It's just basically going to kind of unify the feeling and features of the game modes. Again, it's just going to be a basic franchise animal trading overview. It's nothing super crazy. But a big thing for franchise people that I'm sure is going to be exciting is the ability to save your franchise zoos as sandboxes. So for those who aren't, maybe into Sandbox entirely, you've been spending the last year or so on a single franchise zoo that you've built from the ground up. It looks amazing, but you finally want to be able to export it as a Sandbox zoo. You now have the ability to do that. So that's going to be awesome. You're now going to be able to take your really nice franchise zoo export it out, open it in Sandbox, and then treat it as if there was no limitations at all. So that's going to be awesome. So I'm super glad they added that. It's going to make franchise a lot more appealing, because then you can just, oh, I really like this thing I did, I can now port it over. So that's going to be cool. So another thing that, and this is a few just quality of life things, but I'm sure these are obviously big features. Staff traversable area map. The heat map is going to be a really, really big deal, because I know animal navigation maps and stuff are already a really useful tool. So having a staff traversability area map just makes sense. And so that's going to really help a lot of people out if they're not sure why their keepers aren't feeding their animals or something. It'll explain how they're able to move around. Multi-select is back. So this is a feature that was kind of taken away back a few updates ago, maybe last update. But we're able to now multi-select animals and drag them all into animal storage. So that is just a big, big deal. And finally, the thing I'm sure no one even argued was deep swimming for gharials. Now, I preface this by saying I've gotten this update 100% right. Like, I called billboards the scenario statues, I called the water update, and this. I said we were only going to get gharials as diveable this update, because I know a lot of people are also anticipating polar bears. I called only gharials just because we're pretty sure the next DLC is Asia. So I thought it would make the most sense to use the Asian animal with this update. So that's why we're just getting gharials. Plus, it makes the most sense. Obviously, there was no reason we shouldn't have gotten the gharials able to dive in the first place, because they use the same animations as the crocodile or caiman. But super excited, we're finally going to be adding gharials to the diving roster, and I'm almost positive they're going to be able to use the aquatic feeders as well. And we're getting a bunch of bug fixes and tweaks and yada yada yada. We're all sure about that normally. But what I do want to talk about is the date. So because it's coming out on the 30th, right? That was a date I already previously predicted. Now, we could assume one of two things. Either we're getting the DLC announcement next Tuesday on the 23rd, which is likely, which would mean, you know, first animal update, you know, on the 23rd with the reveal, followed by the 24th, the 25th, 26th, or maybe the 29th for like an exhibit animal. And that would round us out to the 30th with the release of both the 1.5 update and the DLC. Now, that would mean that this week we have no more news. Now, I have another theory in mind, which is they kind of pad out the announcement. So that is with the assumption that they pad out the announcement between the actual DLC and this week. Because they could do maybe teasers or something on like Thursday. They've done that in the past for stuff like the Arctic update or South America. So that's totally possible. But another idea is that maybe, and this is strictly based off the premise that we've been definitely being heard. I know it's become a meme within the Frontier community, like, oh, we hear you guys. But no, they truly, with the aquatic update and this update, have really come around to definitely listening to what people want. We want FlexiColor water, we want billboards, we want the little scenario statues, we wanted FlexiColor rocks, we wanted new fonts and stuff. So I think this is gonna definitely indicate that they are actually listening. And what is the number one request from everyone? More animals. So this is just a small minor theory. Don't take it with a grain of salt. I doubt it. I think we're still going to get 4 animals personally. But say they were to drop the announcement of the DLC tomorrow, we now have a little bit more wiggle room with more potential animal reveals if they wanted to. So say they were to release it on Wednesday, they could do an animal reveal on the 18th, 19th, all of that week, ending with the exhibit animal on the 29th, 30th. So that would mean that we'd get 7 to 8 animals opposed to the traditional 5 or 4 or 5. So I think that is not likely, but it is potentially an option. So I just want to like throw that out there, that is potentially an option. If we don't see more animals this update, expect them next update. Like I really, really doubt that they can kind of push off these 4 animal packs much longer, especially with, I guess, now that we're done with the official Frontier news, updates within the Planet Zoo community. Modding has blown up within the last week. So a few weeks ago, maybe last week, I posted my video about the first ever non-replacement animal with the thylacine. Since then, I've released mods, Leaf's released mods, NDP is working on mods. We have a bunch of other modders who have come out recently, like Level Wolf and stuff, that have been releasing new species as well. I believe we are up to now as many mods as Frontier released in their entire last fiscal year of DLC. I believe we are close to either 15 or 16 animals as new species within the first week of this availability. And I know it seems right now like, oh, we're just getting a bunch of DLC clones like monkeys and sheep and stuff. Nope, Jesse has totally proven that you can stick an elephant on a reindeer rig and it is totally fine. So I intend on updating something like my African forest elephant and stuff. So modding is just blowing up right now. So it is super exciting to play Planet Zoo. And that's awesome to hear, because I was worried that going into 2021 we were going to be having a bit of a lull in the excitement for Planet Zoo, but no, modding and these updates and stuff have really kicked it off, and so I'm really excited for the future of this game. We have some awesome stuff being shown off, and I'm just super excited for the future of the game. So with that being said, that is pretty much all the news. So, like I said, if we get some sort of teaser about the DLC, you know I'm going to cover it. You know I'm going to do my normal stuff. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.